Hello everyone. I will be presenting Mary's intervention plan as well as her mini lesson. Mary's a third grade ESOL student, and Mary will be receiving this intervention during classroom instruction based on the assessment and the data gathered. We know that Mary is able to read on the second grade level, mainly because she has some recall, but she has incomplete understanding of selections that she reads. This will take place for 4 weeks in class intervention. Oh, sorry. She'll be in a one-on-one when needed, and mostly small groups guided in a guided group intervention for 15 to 20 minutes each day. It will be intense reading, targeting difficulties with decoding and word comprehension. She'll be using a level 2 book. With appropriate reading materials, such as recording when needing, I might use an audio recording so she can listen to reading and also read along with it when needed. And this will be done in the designated area in the classroom for the group. So with these appropriate materials, the goal is to bring her on grade level. Teaching point, she will be reading, student will be reading expository text using the graphic organizer to read with accuracy to determine the main idea of the chapter. She'll be reading a chapter book. The student will also use concept mapping to compare and summarize what is understood about weather patterns. I chose 3 different standards. The first 2 are ELA standards, because I'll be asking her questions such as what, where, when, why, and how, to demonstrate key understanding of the text chapter. And also another ELA standard here, 2.4, to work with sufficient accuracy and fluency to support comprehension, which will be the 2 standards used during the guided reading at all times. However, because it's a mini lesson it's a science mini lesson, I should say, earth science system structure, she will have to compare weather patterns that occur over time and relate observable patterns to time of day and time of the year. And that is Earth Science 2E 1.3. Active engagement. The opening of the mini lesson will start with a colorful visual weather display with the vocabulary words attached to each description of a weather pattern. She will be asked to think about what she knows about weather, as well as the other students, to tie in the vocabulary words with the visual. In order for her to get the big idea, I want to help her to relate the new learning to another situation that she may already know relative to weather. It's an expository text. We want to work on decoding to build fluency, reading comprehension. The guided practice organizer, I will explain how to explain one of the main purposes of this mapping graphic organizer is to connect her ideas and put them all so she would have a better recall for her supporting details. Here's a graphic organizer. Weather concept map, she'll put the word weather will go here, and all the different vocabulary words, such as blizzard might go here. What comes out? How do we know what happens when it's a blizzard? Well, it's very cold, right? It could also be slippery outside. So she would put all the words here and make the connection. I'm also going to tell her don't use too many words in the mapping to avoid her from being frustrated. This level 2 book is called Weather All Around Us. The expository text will focus on chapter 1. She will read the keywords and their definitions. She'll use a concept map, as I stated earlier, to build on prior knowledge. Essential questions I will be asking her is, how can the weather change the color of the sky? What happens when there's a drought? She has to use the supporting details in the selection to support her answer. She'll also be building on another vocabulary strategy, and that is antonyms. She'll be introduced to antonyms. Blizzards, breezy, drought season, slippery, dangerous, destroy. So these are all words with these phonics long E sounds in them, demonstrated here. The materials will be the book, the concept organizer, pencil, sticky notes. And in closing part of the mini lesson, I'm going to check in. I'll see with her, look at the finished concept map, encourage her to read aloud and share her answers to the questions from the chapter. To reinforce the learning, she will reflect on how she made connections between concepts orally and answer questions from the story. And here the assessment will be how she summarizes in important details to support her main idea, how she speaks it, as well as how she writes it. There you have it, graphic organizer, book, mini lesson, and intervention plan.